Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also try to do my best and pray a lot for the sync on Rumble. I know I try to investigate this. Basically, I think it's because of capability of Rumble in terms of 4K content. If it is like after more than 20 minutes, it will start to try to downgrade, at least in terms of performance. If it is, I think it cannot accept more than half an hour. I think 4K footage. I assume this is like from the free tier. Not sure about like paid tiers. Because with paid tiers, if you pay, you can like live stream and everything. I'm not sure regarding the content itself. But from the free tier, yeah, it's a little tricky, especially in the gaming footage, which like episodes ranging from 30 something minutes to 1 hour. 4K, it will downgrade to 720p if I'm not mistaken. I just hope that they manage with their infrastructure to reach like a similar quality in terms of video storage, I suppose, in terms of their server capabilities, to reach a similar level to YouTube. But until then, I will have to trust with the sync capabilities that I have regarding my YouTube channel. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tricky. I think the gaming news stuff is because usually it's around maximum half an hour when I start rambling too much. It managed to go through in the syncing process. Yeah, but the gaming stuff, it's more tricky. Yeah, at the moment it's how it stands. But however, I also post the videos in my blogger and on my Patreon also for extra support there. At the moment, it's how I've been handling things. Yesterday I didn't do an episode again. I talked about this in this past week. It's going to be a little bit tricky. I think next week's also, it might have like one or two days throughout the week that I cannot do anything. Mainly because I'm very busy with work. Some stuff comes out like in one day. I have to go through throughout the day. I don't have time like my usual time slot to do the video stuff and everything. But yeah, it's good news for me because I get more work, get a little bit more money to pay the bills and everything. But yeah, the channel suffers a little bit in the meantime. But however, my commitment still maintains the same. I will do my best to do every day except for Sunday, so I can so I don't get the burnout thing in terms of news. And then mixed in, it was going to be the gameplay series. Today I will launch the final episode of Void Bastards. I managed to record it and already it's up on the YouTube channel, so it's just a matter of publishing after a little bit, like later today after the gaming news episode goes up. Yeah, but basically regarding the channel, just a quick update regarding that. Got some stuff here, more stuff regarding the super iteration of the RTX 40 series. There's been some supposedly more detailed information here. The information more about CUDA core details and potential GPU models. So the chipset here, or the chip or the GPU itself. There is I think the technical term is the GPU here. Oh, sorry. But because I think the GPU, it's the 103, and then we have the chip, what we call here is the board with everything in there. But yeah, forgetting that, okay, supposedly it's going to be like my speculation, because it didn't make a lot of sense otherwise, is the super will be a little bit better than the non-super, and is going to be, in the case of the 4070, is going to get below a little bit on the TI, because it doesn't make sense they put the super over the TI. Never been like this. And of course the super is not going to be a huge uplift regarding the 4080. In that case, it maintains supposedly the same memory capacity, which is I think they could like upgrade it, but I think mainly it's because of the 103 chip. I think the maximum is 256 bits in terms of memory bandwidth, which is okay, it is what it is. But I think if they manage to get around a little bit more, try to put a little bit more extra VRAM, mainly because in terms of 4K, and we have like this latest game, Alan Wake 2, uses a lot of DirectX 12 capabilities, especially the mesh shaders, which is something we didn't see that much. But I will go in Alan Wake a little bit more detail afterwards, because I've been watching some videos. But yeah, the 4070 Ti Super supposedly has 2 iterations, the 102 and the 103 GPU chip here, and it's going to try to maintain around like this 8000 and almost 500 CUDA cores. We don't have a lot of specs in terms of VRAM, even though I suspect the one, I'm not sure if they're going to do 2 variations. I don't think so, because they're going to try to maintain the gap here, because if they start putting the 16, if they manage on the 103 put 16 gigabytes with 256 bit memory bus here, it will sell more than the 4080 kind of a thing here, because it's relatively close in terms of performance. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a messy launch here. The 4070 Super, it's going to also have like 2 GPU chips, so the 103, which is the better one, and the 104, which is the same one, the 4070 Ti, and the 4070, even though they are different SKUs per se, so they have different CUDA cores and all that stuff in terms of being, I don't know, in the manufacturing process. Some of them are better than others, but yeah, there is a lot of spread here, a lot of mix and match that is going to happen for sure, mainly because I think it's the production of they did from the chips themselves. Some of them are better than others, so I think they were going to try to mix and match. I suppose that a lot of people will try to get from the ones that have 2 variants, so the 4070 Super and the Ti Super. They're going to try to see if they can manage to get the chip with higher capabilities here, but I think they're going to limit these ones, the higher ones, to the same kind of functionalities than the lower quality ones. That's my perception here. I don't see any downgrade at the moment for example the 4070 Super in terms of memory. I think they will try to maintain the 12 gigabytes here. Again, it's not managing to be enough here. I think next year you're going to see very limited results in terms of gaming performance comparatively, especially with the 7800 XT. I'm not being following up too much on the GPU market in terms of performance comparison between AMD and NVIDIA, but the thing that I have in my mind, the 4070 Ti, I think it's comparable to the 7800 XT, if not mistaken. But again, the AMD version has more memory, more bandwidth also, so it has a little bit performance uplift. Again, everything that is DLSS and RT ray tracing, the NVIDIA usually gets the upper end, but in some cases not that much. But yeah, it is what it is. Depending, again, everything depends on the price of the product, if it is a good product or not. You can have all the specs that you want, but if it is an expensive product, it's a bad product in my view. But yeah, we will see how it goes, how it compares with the stack that had already been launched. And again, this is all rumors, so take it with a huge chunk of salt regarding this information. We got some adaptations supposedly coming. Barbarian video game adaptation. I didn't see this movie, but it seems to have like a good cast, at least. Georgina Campbell, Bill Skarsgård he was the clown in the It franchise, and Justin Long, kind of well known in the indie circuit. I think I saw some trailers for this one. I think that the girl just seemingly rent a room like kind of an Airbnb kind of situation, but there is one guy there, which was I think this character from played by Bill Skarsgård, and then it's a horror movie, and then again something in the basement that doesn't seem good. It will not be good. I didn't see the movie, so I suppose something goes like this, because I saw some some shots on the basement on the trailer, so I suppose this is not going to end well. But I think, it seems to try to create the movie itself a barbarian kind of universe, so it lends itself to a certain degree to game adaptation. We'll see how it goes. Again, this is just an announcement that it's now in development, so you got pre-production, then you got the production phase, and then I will assume like at least 3 years, give or take, depending what kind of game they want to do. But it's always interesting adapting movies to games and vice versa, games to movies. It's always interesting, and I always keep my eyes close to these kind of situations. We'll hope and see more development soon. Regarding Alan Wake, I've been watching some Digital Foundry's videos here and some reviews here. Again, the game seems to be, depending on your perspective, on par or even better than the first game. Of course, in terms of visual, there is no comparison here, but in terms of how the game plays out, seems that it really excels here in terms of storytelling and how they're going about the game, some game mechanics. Again, as I thought to a certain degree, when you play with Saga, it's more about like the survival horror kind of a deal, the combat stuff here, while the Alan Wake part seems more psychological, more metaphysical, the parts of horror of the universe itself, and how to deal with manifestation of the subconscious and everything seems very, very interesting. And also the story threads that go along, I think with the mind plays that they both have, Saga is more like the detective one, while Alan Wake is more trying to get himself out of the rabbit hole of telling a story to get out of the dark place. Seems pretty good. But again, I see all 9, 10s in some cases, but at least it was worth the while to wait for this game. But yeah, the game itself pushes a lot any hardware capabilities that you might have, and there's been some rumblings regarding the PC requirements and everything. But I watched some Digital Foundries like comparisons between PS5 and the PC versions there. And how they achieve a good quality in terms, for example, in terms of performance on PS5, and how you can achieve similar performance with, I think they put like middle range GPUs. I think I'm not sure, one of the 6700, I think, I'm not sure, and the 3070 from NVIDIA. So anything regarding similar performance, how can you achieve like similar quality levels on the PS5 by tweaking some settings here and there and making some compromises? But yeah, overall, from what I understood of the videos, is basically this engine, or at least this version of the engines, is very similar to a certain degree with Unreal Engine 5 on how they deal, for example, with ray tracing. Supposedly, from their analysis, and it's not, I don't think it's been confirmed by Remedy itself, their engine basically uses, even if you don't turn on ray tracing, you see some ray tracing effects, which basically I assume they are being used in a similar instances like Lumen does with the red engine, with the, sorry, oh my god, what's the engine? Oh my god, I got a blank here. From the Epic Unreal Engine, sorry. Because I'm going to talk about Resident Evil Engine also, I was blocking myself. But yeah, it uses similar to Unreal Engine 5 like Lumen, which is basically ray tracing through software itself, so it doesn't utilizes the hardware. And I think all these kind of combinations here, those tweaks that it do, because without even with certain things off, you might see some reflections that are very that they can be produced if you turn on ray tracing hardware, but they are used with their software, basically. That's my perception. And some global illumination stuff and some other processes they use. It's used very much from the engine itself. And I think even the mesh shaders, it's a good thing to be introduced, because it alleviates a little bit the workload on the GPU, because mesh shaders basically try to they try not to render all the scenery that is when you are on for example level. The things that you are not looking at, it utilizes the mesh shaders to try to reduce the workload on the GPU to a certain degree, but that needs proper hardware to be compatible with. That's why there was the thing, if you the 10,000 and the 5,000 and below, they managed to get around that, but it's very heavy on those GPUs. They are older GPUs, but it's kind of possible to try to get around like a playable frame rate with those GPUs if they are like powerful enough, like 1080, but still they get the workload it's very heavy, mainly because of course the game is pretty good even in low settings. It seems there is like in some instances there is no like huge difference in terms of at least visuals if you're not looking for, and you can save a few performance percentage here and there. But the Digital Foundry has been doing a lot of good videos analyzing this and trying to get around like ways of view. If you have a certain kind of hardware, you might get around and have like a playable frame rate in a decent resolution for your GPU. So I advise you go to their YouTube channel. I'll leave a link of their YouTube channel. You just look out for the latest videos they've been doing regarding Alan Wake 2, and I think you will have like a satisfying playable experience. But yeah, also then Owen, sorry, he's been doing a lot of GPU comparisons and trying to tweak a lot and see what kind of results that you have with NVIDIA, and he did a separate video for AMD GPUs. They were pretty comprehensive, even though they are not very like in-depth, they're not analytical. It's more about, okay, I installed my GPU with my system here, and let's try to see what we can squeeze out of those GPUs in terms of performance in a playable frame rate and in a playable resolution. It goes about between DLSS, non-DLSS, FSR, not FSR, all that stuff, and even try to squeeze a little bit of performance with ray tracing to see how it goes. It's very interesting how he go about the GPU analysis that he does. I also will leave a link of his channel on the description below, so you can check them out. And I was talking about Resident Evil engine, which is RE engine. They're going to kind of evolve, and it's going to evolve to Rex engine. Basically it's X. It's from next generation, basically, and I think they're going to try to enter in the competition, basically similar way like Unity does and everything. So they can, they're going to work out their framework of how the engine works, and as you can see, there are a lot of I don't know how this calls, various phases of introduction and like tools within the Resident Evil engine here. I think that they want to basically use it like a Unreal Engine, entering that competition, which is good because this engine is pretty decent. I was very impressed at the time when I did my Resident Evil 7 gameplay, and a 1060 GPU 1080p managed to get around like an average 60 frames per second. All the Resident Evil like remakes and the Village one, they have been also dealt with this engine, and it's the reactions in terms of visual quality, they are very good. In terms of performance, they're also very good, but the thing is, it's for more like open worlds kind of a thing there. I don't think it still kind of handles that well, like large size assets, and they're working on their engine to go and work around with that. And this comes out because they posted videos on their R&D channel, Capcom engine. It's very interesting. Sorry, and they are also introducing some mesh shader stuff here because it will help again to ease the load on the GPUs when it's trying to work out. But yeah, it's very good that they are similarly trying to enter the space here of engines. Because Unity, nobody will trust Unity ever again, at least that's my perception. And of course they will start doing this, like it's basically like Unreal Engine does. You get all these tools, you can use the engine, supposedly they get a cut of the profits, all the revenue, and all that things that usually work out this way. And at least some competition on the market of engines, which basically we had basically Unreal Engine and Unity, the big ones. For people who don't have like enough money or companies that don't have enough money to create their own engine from scratch, because now we don't have Red Engine from Cyberpunk games and the Witcher 3 games. We don't have that engine anymore now. They are going to start working on Unreal Engine. But we still get, for example, Northlight Engine from Alan Wake is a very good one, even though it can be it's like a benchmark engine to a certain degree because it's very heavy on the workloads, but still it's very good, high quality. It works similar to like Unreal Engine, but it's a different engine altogether. Again, some of them are more for intended purposes than more general applications like Unreal Engine. But yeah, it's good to see some competition in that market. And I'm going to wrap up here with some free games. Evil Within 2 now it's free. The Evil Within 1 promotion and like 2 days ago maximum. Yeah, I think it was yesterday this one started. It's a pretty decent game, especially for free. It doesn't have DLC, so it's good. You have the whole package here. I'm doing the series here. I assume at the moment I'm like 3 episodes, give or take, from the pacing that the game is taking, like 3-4 episodes till the end of the game. But yeah, it's an improvement on the first one, at least in my opinion. It has its quirks. It's a 2017 game, but yeah, it's tried to improve a little bit on lore and some concepts there that they introduced on the first one. Some stories threads wrap up here to a certain degree, but they left open for the third game basically, in 1 or 2 story threads that they didn't resolve in the first one. Some of them are kind of resolved but left open, so you kind of know what happened, but there is like some questions what is going to happen on the third game if it comes out. Because the guy from the studio, the head of the studio, the Tango Gameworks, left after the Rush something, the beat game that they launched like last year or this year. I don't remember. I think early this year, Beat Rush or something like that. The rhythm game got good reviews, and then the guy left. I forget his name. Sorry. I know it's a very well-known game in I think it's the one that made the original Resident Evil. I'm so sorry, I'm terrible with names. But yeah, but I think he left the studio in a decent hands. We'll see what it comes out of this studio now. Regarding Steam, we got now this Steam Scream, The Revenge. We got a lot of games, at least in my wish list. And today I'm going to just cover a couple of them. So the Metro franchise is on sale, so 90%. This is the Redux version, so the improved visual kind of things there, kind of the remaster in terms of visual. 90% off, so $2 here. The Last Light Redux version, 90% off also, and Metro Exodus, 80% off. But the Gold Edition, which is the better one, 80% off, and the entire saga is also basically 90%, so $9 for all the free games, which is a pretty good trilogy from what I understand. It's one of those that I will be doing a series one of these days, so wait for it, and I will one of these days for sure get my hands on this trilogy and make a playthrough for sure. We got also Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, so the first game. The second one has already been announced. There were some teasers here, but it's 85% off, so give around $5 for this game. Very psychologically, atmospherically, story rich. It's kind of the Dread kind of a thing here, the setting. And I think she has psychosis, something like that, and how she tries to deal with this. I think her husband or boyfriend or something like that died in battle, and I think she's trying to revenge him. It's a very, I think it's a very good game from all the things that I've been seeing. Sorry, and it's going to be a hell of an experience. There is this one also, King Arthur's Knight's Tale. This game from last year. It's 40% off. It seems very good. A very good game. It's from an indie developer, if not mistaken. It's turn-based tactics. It's kind of tried to get a twist on the Knights, King Arthur kind of a mythos there, and it seems pretty good in terms of combat and story. I saw a couple of videos here and there just to have an idea what the game goes about. But yeah, it seems pretty good, and it's again, it's on my wish list because I will want to play one of these days when I can. Also, you got Death Stranding Director's Cut, so the final version here, basically 50% off, so $20. I think it's well worth it. And if you already have the base game, you just for $5 you can upgrade for the Director's Cut version. Again, this game is going to be tricky for me to do. I'm hoping to do this. I don't know if I'm going to reserve a slot a day per week or something like that to do some live streams, because I think it's more suitable, because this is going to take huge amount of time to cover through. It's kind of to a certain degree walking simulator to a certain degree, so you get a like that time per se, walking around, challenging the scenario, puzzling. I think it's more about puzzling the how you go about the scenarios and the terrain, and I suppose you got random encounters to a certain degree. But yeah, very interesting. I always like to play Kojima games whenever I can. And lastly, we got Hades. Again, action roguelike style, isometric view, hack and slash, pretty good. Overall, positive reviews since it came out. The second one is, I'm not sure if already out or still I think the Hades 2 is still not out. I think it was announced, but it's not out yet. But this one, the first one, is an excellent game from everything that I saw. Again, or if you like action roguelike, I think it's playable very well with the keyboard and mouse also. So it's for your PC or even with the controller. I think it plays also very well there. It's one of those that I like to try out and see how it goes. The story, the mythos that they're going about it also, it seems pretty good, and how you deal with your character permanent upgrades and the upgrades that you get through each run, it's always good. But yeah, basically this is it for today, guys. I'm just going to wrap up with a plug for my Patreon for extra support as always. Again, the extra support that I might get from the content that I do for the channel at the moment is going to invest in more storage, so I can have more space for backups of the projects that I usually do for my private clients, and of course space for the videos that I do for the channel. And basically at the moment this is my main thing here. But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.